What is your year of birth?
1990.
From what country or countries were your ancestors located? So, such as your family origins, where your grandparents came from.
Yes, both sides are from Germany.
In what city, part of what state and country did you spend your formative years?
The community of Valley Crucis, North Carolina.
All right. And in your formative years, did you live in an urban, suburban, or rural area?
Rural.
All right. To you, what is nature or the natural world?
I'm going to think a little bit.
All right.
I think nature can be anything around you, whether that's grass and trees in an urban area like this. I think you can still find nature in an urban setting. Like just the other day I saw a turkey on the side of the road. And that's in Spartanburg, so it's a little strange to see, but I still think you can find nature and animals and wildlife, and whether that's flora or fauna, I guess, too. It can be nature.
Do you think that nature's easier to be found in a rural area?
I absolutely do think that nature's easier to be found in a rural area because you're basically surrounded by it. I think if you're placed in an urban setting, you actually have to seek it, whereas in a rural area, it's just your surroundings.
All right. And were your parents' livelihoods or interests somehow connected to or working with or in nature?
In a way, yes, I'd say, because we live on a pretty large tract of land up in the mountains, and it's family land, so I guess in a way we have to take care of that land, so maybe like stewards, but as far as their jobs, not exactly, because they're both teachers.
Currently, is your livelihood or interest somehow connected to or working with or in nature?
Yes. I'm an environmental studies major, so my future livelihood will be, I hope it will be working with and in nature.
As a child, how much free time did you prefer to spend outside? As little as possible, some, or you preferred to be outside?
I preferred to be outside. We didn't have video games or anything growing up. I think we got a Nintendo 64 after they were like super outdated. So we were pretty much all the time outside playing, whether that was sports like basketball, football, baseball, or it was actually just running around in the woods.
All right. And now, how much do you like being outside? As little as possible, some, or you prefer to be outside?
I would prefer to be outside, whether studying or actually just having fun outside. I like to be outside more than sitting in the building.
And what things do you do to connect to the natural world? What meaning do these things have for you?
I like to fish and hike and hammock. I really like the hammock too. I guess it would connect all the way back to like my father-son relationship with fishing and hiking. Like, I don't know, it's just something our family's always done really. I grew up right above a river, so we were always on the river as kids, like tubing and fishing. But I don't know, I kind of feel like that's kind of my childhood.
List your outdoor activities over the past year. Like a brief synopsis.
Oh my God. Okay.
There are so many.
Definitely hiking, fishing, biking. I don't know where to go. How many? I don't know.
You play football, so...
Play football, that's definitely outdoors, yes.
Yeah. You've been to the beach recently.
Studying, lounging on the beach, reading, hammocking in my Eno. I don't know. This
You go on your hiking and nature walks.
Yes, definitely have a lot of walking and hiking in there.
How have you learned about nature, and is there anything in your background that makes you knowledgeable or that makes you not very knowledgeable about nature? And if so, can you tell me more about that?
Okay. I think I originally started learning about nature from my grandparents and parents. And then a more formal education kind of has taken place in college, where I've become an environmental studies major. And it's not necessarily, I mean, I've had some biology classes too that I think would add into that, but I don't think I know a great deal. I think there's a lot more to learn. But I know a few things. Maybe I know a little bit about a lot of things. I don't know.
How has your heritage, culture, or way of life influenced your view of nature?
So just growing up there, I always was outside, and it taught me to appreciate nature, I think. When I was younger, I couldn't really see the appreciation factor. Like, I enjoyed being outside, and I had a good time, but then when I'm now in college, I can look back and say, not everybody had that chance, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I had as a child. So I really feel like it's kind of pointed me in the direction to where I am today.
So how is nature important to you?
To me, it's important because I just love to be out in nature. I really appreciate it. It's almost kind of like it's a getaway. It's a change of pace at times, but it's just, I don't know. And yes, I do think something's going to be lost in nature as we continue. Before my life's over, I think we'll probably lose a few animals, some species and everything. But
Will that loss affect you at all?
directly, I mean, I think in the grand scheme of things, I really feel like everything's connected. I think it will have some effect on me, but as far as my everyday life, I'm not sure that it will. And as far as most of the population, I don't think will even know about it. You know?
Can you name or explain any natural objects or local places in the natural world that hold some special meaning or significance to you?
Sure. Just right over there, one of my favorite trees. There's a ginkgo biloba tree over there. Ginkgo, and that's one of my favorites.
Why is that?
When these leaves change colors, they turn to a bright gold color, and it really stands out. Right now they're kind of like a light green, but when they change colors and right before they fall, they're just gorgeous.
Do you feel that knowing the names of objects in the natural world, such as knowing the names of insects or trees, change your observation or your enjoyment of them?
I definitely do. I don't know very many, but the ones I do know, I almost take it as a point of pride. And I'd like to share that knowledge when I walk by them with people. But I do think that the more you learn about it, and the more you want to share it, the better maybe everybody can be if you're helping other people out learn as well.
Okay. Do you ever or do you now gather any products from nature for food, medicine, fuel, art, hobby, sport, anything like that?
For food, definitely. We have a garden at my house, so we grow a garden and always have some really good corn and tomatoes and okra and green beans, so that kind of thing. It's not a very big garden, but it's probably about a half an acre, but it kind of adds on to the family, I guess, to the food for the family. And then for sport, not really. I whittle every now and again, so I guess I pick up sticks. I don't know where else to go with it.
Do you see a link between maintaining your way of life and maintaining the natural world?
Absolutely. I mean, if one of them changes, the other is going to change. And if it's a small change, I don't think that it's necessarily going to be a huge effect on like the daily lives of people. But I think if people consider that every change has some effect, then they might start living a little differently, maybe as well.